Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber, and this is my sacred ministry. Today is January 14th. It is a Wednesday, and we have a lot to get into today. To start, there we go. To start with, Wednesday is ruled by Mercury. Now, currently, Mercury is in Capricorn at 19 degrees, and it is directly opposing Jupiter at 19 degrees retrograde in Cancer. Jupiter is amplifying the message. Okay, that's what's happening with that. Now, Mercury being the messenger planet, Archangel Gabriel, the divine messenger, is sponsoring this message or bringing this message today. Okay, the main part of this message, or the title of this message, is "This will shift within 24 hours. Your life was not meant to be this way." And that is going to be multifaceted. That title, that main point, okay? Because there's a lot going on energetically currently. And so today is a 7-day. 7 is associated with the Chariot, okay? But today's key words are balanced and aligned action, duality, forward movement, mind of Christ, compassion, love, leadership, truth, opening up or blossoming. Okay, and when I got that message, I envisioned or received the vision of a lotus flower just blossoming. Okay, the masculine container and the feminine waters, quiet power and boundaries. Now, the first point corresponding or in explanation of the title, mind of Christ, seeing beyond the shadows, connecting into the mind of Christ, as in aligning your thoughts with those of Christ consciousness. Next point, God is removing everything that is bringing you down. Yeah. Cosmically, the planetary configurations are absolutely that of removing toxicity, making the changes that you may or may not be aware need to be made. They will be made. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, the next point, when it comes to love, union, partnership, The formula for success is actually very simple. The masculine energy provides containment for the feminine, okay? And part of that containment is supplying any need she may have that would either assist or jeopardize her stability, depending on whether she has or does not have this resource, whatever it is. This would be something that would be outwardly apparent, okay? Such as she's hungry because she doesn't have food to eat. The masculine provides the food, okay? She's cold because she doesn't have a home. The masculine provides the home. She is naked because she doesn't have money to buy clothes. The masculine provides the money or the clothes or both. So on and so forth. Okay? If there is a need, it is provided by the masculine as his containment of her. And in doing so, ensuring that she is safe and provided for, that she feels safe and provided for. Now, the feminine waters the masculine, and in the same fashion, provides any needs that he may have. Nourishment, support, loyalty, care, companionship, reinforcement, okay, joy, happiness, love, all of the things that the feminine energy provides, okay? And any need that he has, again, this would be noticeable from outside of his body. He wouldn't have to say it to her. She would know and she would provide it. Okay? And that is her way of watering and nourishing the masculine. And the two of them grow together. They nurture each other. And they grow together. They become stronger. They both have a mission, but they are joined in the mission. Okay? It's very simple. If you have a masculine that is not willing to provide containment or doesn't understand that concept, he has no business being in a relationship. And he won't be in one that is healthy. If you have a feminine that does not wish to water a masculine, she has no business being in a relationship. And she won't be in one that is healthy. Those two examples will have toxic connections that will reveal the trauma that is needed to be healed. Okay? And that's also fine. The next point is a quote from myself. And it goes as follows: "The most meaningful and profound things I do I do for myself. And I am proud of that. I'm proud of myself. And that is why I do these things, because I am honoring of myself and my value. I take myself and my contribution very seriously. I view myself as important. And I love myself because God lives in here. And I know how hard I've tried in my life. And I honor that. I have actively, and this is just me, I'm using myself as an example. Each and every one of you can do this exercise for yourself. When it comes to development, and I'm not necessarily talking about spiritual development, but development in general, I have improved, consciously taken steps to work through, heal, and improve myself. So that when I look in the mirror, I am proud of the woman looking back at me. I do not criticize myself because I understand now what that does to my own heart. And I don't want to hurt my own heart. Current astrology, like I touched on earlier, Mercury is 19 degrees Capricorn. This is divine messenger energy, okay? Just absolutely divine messenger energy, meaning that words are profound right now, meaningful. You may speak or you may hear very big and impactful statements, epiphanies, ideas, conversations are being had. And on that note, major truth is being revealed, whether or not people want it to be. And why is that? Because the moon is conjunct the black moon in Sagittarius, okay? This is feminine intuition in alignment with feminine trauma of the past, what's already been experienced. As in, you're picking up on a pattern, or you're picking up on some kind of describing behavior, feeling, or speech that ticks off your intuition and goes, oh, I've seen that before. Oh, yeah, we've been there before. And it's in alignment with Pluto, the truth, at 3 degrees alignment. So whether or not someone intends to reveal something, it will be revealed in grand fashion in a lot of cases. And likely not, if it's intentionally being spoken about and it's not something that is a point of shame for another person, if it's not being a point of deception, then this is breakthrough energy. This is incredibly healing energy. If you are trying to be deceptive, you will likely have a serious tower moment with the opposition to Uranus, because not really playing that. Just not. Okay. And the moon and the black moon are trining Saturn. Okay. Saturn being karma, and Neptune, dreams. One thing about me, Spirit speaks to me through dreams. Okay? So I know. You may not think I know, but I know. I've been shown, I've been told, sometimes both. So deception in general is not a good plan. And I'm again using myself as an example, but I have a Pisces moon. So the more I develop my own energy, the more impossible it is to lie to me. Also, the more I don't like it. And it's not just me, okay? My angels and my team are not going to allow that. They are going to let me know. I will find out. One way or another, the tea will be spilled. I can promise you this. And under this energy, many people will be in the same predicament, scenario. Okay? As we move forward this week, the personal planets that are moving through Capricorn will each trine Uranus. Uranus is the higher mind. Uranus makes decisions on your behalf for your highest good and removes things, gives you things, whatever it is, makes the change. Okay? Regardless of what you want. Because after the fact, you will realize that that was a gift. That was a blessing. But this is tower moment, okay? Sudden shifts, things coming out of nowhere or all of a sudden disappearing. Each personal planet, tomorrow Venus is trining. Then it will be Mars. Then it will be the sun. No, then it will be the sun. Then it will be Mars. Then it will be Mercury as we go. So for the next week, things could be shifting rapidly in your life or the life of those around you or on a collective scale or all of the above. Actually, all of the above. highly likely. Okay? Because right after that, each personal planet is going to aspect Pluto in Aquarius. This is personal transformation. This is the truth of these aspects of you. And the toxicity is not being allowed anymore. You will, not in a way where you don't know that you're doing it. You will have to be consciously choosing it at the expense of karma. Meaning that you know better and you're receiving cosmic punishments and you're still doing it, which just sounds silly, which is why a lot of things will be changing, okay? Very soon. Then I got a couple of cards which absolutely reinforce this message. We have New Life. Here, let me change the finger I'm using. We have New Life and Deep Knowing. Now, this New Life card, this one, number 39, which reduces to 12. We're going to get into that significance here in a second. Deep Knowing, 43, that is 7. Today's a 7 day. This is being in communication with Source, with your higher self, with your intuition. Okay, being hypersensitive. There's weird things floating around randomly. It's kind of strange. Anyhow, hypersensitivity. We be knowing, okay? Which is good because new things are scary and a lot of this is, really taking a step into the unknown without a clear plan. But you're receiving support, reinforcement, confirmations from some form of higher power within you and outside of you. Okay? Now, attached to the New Life, everything you need is already in place. The building blocks for what's to come have already been laid. Important to remember that. I'm hearing for good or for bad. Okay. Collectively, things will be dropping into place over the next week, like we were discussing previously. This alignments to Uranus, things are going to change, things are going to shift. And then on the 26th, Neptune moves into Aries for the final time in our lifetime. So yeah, Neptune is the higher octave of Venus as well. So cosmic love. Spirit. regarding these things dropping into place, you already know what changes to make and where to hold firm boundaries. If you need to make changes, you already know. If you need to put forward boundaries, you already know that too. Okay? Now, this card here, and I just wrote down what was in the book description because it's pretty thorough. If you see on here, she has hatched from an egg. Okay? Brand new. I also think it's interesting that there are flags here, like this is a celebration. And she's on a pedestal, as in she is the main character in this moment. She is being celebrated for this achievement of this rebirth that is taking place. Okay? Birth of new ideas, growth, opportunities, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. Okay? And then the prosperity message. You have every reason to be optimistic right now as things seem to fall into place magically. Things are dropping in. New opportunities remind you that abundance is available to you. Delight in the bounty that begins to appear in surprising forms. Again, Uranus. Stay curious and know that your hopes and dreams are being fulfilled. Again, the title of this message is This Will Shift in 24 Hours. That alignment to Uranus begins with the personal planets, okay? It's already in a conversation with the moon and the black moon. But that begins tomorrow. Okay? It's as if a new life suddenly infuses your projects, works, and creative ideas with a kind of electricity that crackles with exciting potential. Fortune is smiling on you. On page 143, that number means I love you. That's a little shout out from Spirit. Then the Deep Knowing card. We have the moon and the owl here. And the stars in alignment. Intuition and wisdom. Ancestral support. As in, you be knowing. You are being told what's going on. Deep knowing, intuition, listening to the oracle within. Empathy, hypersensitivity, entering into a dialogue with Source, as in the mind of Christ. To circle back to the beginning of this message. Okay, now, on a slightly different note, I've been having some very spiritual and mystical experiences. At some points, kind of terrifying. I have had moments where I've actually considered, like, am I dying? Is that what's happening? Do I have like some kind of malfunction? And what I'm experiencing is actually a type of delusion or symptom of a problem? Because this is wild in this energy right now. This last week, the amount of truth that I see in every interaction. I'm watching a video. I can see what's happening. The person who's speaking, where her eyes are going. I know immediately what she's looking at when she's reinforcing herself, etc. Not things I noticed before. Reminding me that when you view people that appear to have everything together and are perfect and confident and, bulletproof, chances are they're not. There's a tell. Somewhere there is a vulnerability. Everybody has one. We're human. It's part of what makes us amazing. Okay? Really crazy symptoms. Very prophetic dreams. Dreams that are shedding light on certain individuals. So, and some are just very strange. I've received an understanding in a moment of injury that I'm deflecting basically spiritual attack, which is an actual thing. Okay? Is it something to be afraid of? No, because, there are ways to protect yourself. You can wear crystals. For some reason, when I wear amethyst, that stone protects me and it opens my intuition. And there are forces that apparently do not want me to see. Okay? Twice now, my amethyst has taken a hit for me and broke. Okay? That's a hit. It's also a stone of sobriety. It clears, it protects, and it absorbs out of you as well. So does silver. Silver absorbs negative energy. So when you wear silver, be mindful of whether or not it tarnishes and the speed at which it tarnishes. That will tell you if it is absorbing negative energy, in fact, clearing your energy field, protecting you, and to the degree that the negative energy is present in correspondence to how quickly it tarnishes. Okay? Anyhow, I say all of that to say that this is a process of an upgrade. And I'm using myself as an example to let you know that if you are experiencing some wild things right now, you are not alone. And if you aren't, You will be. You will be soon to some degree because things are changing. Things are shifting. You are becoming better. Whether you want to or not. So get on board. Anyhow, I woke up or was woken up at 3 a.m. and I was given the word Rosicrucianism. Okay. And the face of this doctor that I had watched some time ago on the Know Thyself podcast with Andre. What's his last name? It's not important. I'll remember it. A while ago. And I'm seeing his face. Ooh, 36, 36. And I'm being given Rosicrucianism. And the Sisterhood of the Rose. This is Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. This was their ministry, their movement that they are associated with. Hathor as well. Didn't know if there was any kind of connection. I don't know. But it was so impactful. It stuck that I remembered it this morning at 7 when I got up. So now, Rosicrucianism is a spiritual and esoteric movement symbolized by the rose cross that emerged in 17th century Europe, claiming ancient hidden wisdom to reform humanity through mystical study, alchemy, Hermeticism, as above, so below, and natural laws, offering spiritual development and understanding of universal principles, with various modern orders continuing its traditions of self-improvement, consciousness, expansion, and connection to cosmic truth. Oh. All right. I quite literally dropped the mic. Okay, you can take that however you'd like to. There is a quote, real spiritual power is the ability to realign yourself, to correct yourself, to bring you back to proper alignment within yourself, by yourself. Not doing something to someone else, but addressing yourself anytime you move out of alignment. That is power. That is power applied. Okay? Now, the face I was seeing, his name is Dr. Robert Gilbert. If you are interested in any of this, it piques your interest, go watch that podcast, Know Thyself podcast. Dr. Robert Gilbert The episode, which I rewatched today, obviously, because he came through at 3 a.m., was amazing. It was so just wow. And the title was What You Need to Know Before You Die. And he died after that. He transitioned. That's impactful. Okay? That's also reminiscent of something else. That actually occurs a lot, where a person's death actually magnifies their message of their life in some way. I don't know who I'm thinking of. It's more of a feeling, but anyhow, his name is Dr. Robert Gilbert. He is the founder of the Vesica Institute, which teaches the 7 levels of initiation. And I just wrote down little things. The entire conversation was lengthy and in depth. Okay, multifaceted. But there were little pieces of information that I was like, I need to remember that. 7 levels of initiation. I'm thinking of the chakra system. I feel like there was some other connection, but that's what's coming through. Anyhow, one of the things he was speaking about, he said, quote, wisdom lies solely in truth. And he was actually quoting someone else, but I don't remember who it was. And that is very accurate. And this will be accurate in the present moment and moving forward. In order to ascertain wisdom pertaining to yourself, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be truthful. You have to be in truth in order to have accurate information, to move properly, to choose to decide in a powerful way. Okay? He was talking about a practice known as the backward review exercise, where at the end of the day, before you're going to sleep, you close your eyes and you replay the day backwards. So starting at that present moment, moving towards the morning when you woke up. And so you see the outcome, and then you see the cause. And you have an understanding of why things occurred the way that they did. Okay? You're able to review and gain more information about things. You can also be shown that something happened because you didn't do something. You didn't go where you were guided to go. You didn't meet that person. You were told, your intuition told you to do a certain thing, go to a certain place, speak to a certain person, something, and you didn't do it. And then there was a result. This will become clear. And on the other end, you were guided to go to a certain store and you went and something took place. And you're looking at that end result and you're like, if I wouldn't have gone, that never would have happened. That connection never would have been made. Things like this. You're able to learn and understand a lot more about your own life. Okay? He was talking about so many people on the planet at the moment are not actually living out what they came here to accomplish. Okay? Due to the level of detachment from God that currently exists. Overstimulated, over desensitized, deceptionized. I don't think that's a word, but I'm making it a word. Conditioned. Okay. To believe certain things that we are not connected to ourself. But like I said, this is shifting. This is shifting. He was mentioning that the creator of Dune, the movie Dune, which actually my son was recently speaking to me about, I haven't seen it, but he was talking about how that movie was a piece of art that stimulated many people in the collective. It was a type of initiation to spark a memory. Art activates memory, and Dune was an activator, and the creator was actually a Buddhist. So that was intentional. I thought that was interesting. He was talking about spending time in a place where you can envision, so it soothes you and nourishes you energetically, where you can just listen, where you can connect in with yourself and you can connect to the beings up the column, okay, the chain, who are trying to talk to you. Your higher self, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, ascended masters, source, and so on. You won't receive the guidance if you don't actively practice listening. And apparently, this is something that is being asked of the collective, which is why it's coming through. Create a vision space. This could be in nature. This could be in your home, someplace that is serene, that is beautiful, that inspires expansion within you. And listen. Connect in. The heart space would be where we would start. Okay? He was also talking about Goethe and the metamorphosis of plants, which is information that came out a while ago, so that could be something to look into. He was talking about the Clear Vision School of Australia, where he learned the practice of waking up slowly. So giving yourself 15 to 20 minutes after you wake up to ponder your dreams, if you have dreams, before you get up, because you receive a lot of information within the dream state, especially right now. And you can bring that information into your conscious awareness and into the day if you take a bit of time to integrate it. As a practice, 15 to 20 minutes before you actually get out of bed. I sometimes take a whole lot longer than that, but my dreams are wild. Okay? And I'm being told that I'm not supposed to talk about them. Anyhow. Okay. He was talking about that we structure the subtle body with every thought, feeling, and action. And this creates energy patterns. Our thoughts, our feelings, our actions create energy patterns within our subtle body, within our energy centers, what we're thinking, feeling, and doing. And this is a quote from him. How we structure and develop our subtle body is our permanent self. Your subtle body is your permanent self. Okay? It's the only thing you take through the gate of death. I am not reading this correctly, and it feels weird. Okay. So I'm just going to say this, I guess, in my own words. How we structure and develop the subtle body is incredibly important because it is, in fact, our permanent self, our soul type of energy. Okay. It's what we take with us when we physically die. We take our subtle body and how much we have grown and developed it. Okay. And we take that information to the next life. This is soul growth, essentially. The investment you make in yourself in this lifetime will pay tremendous dividends in the next lifetime. It is one of the most important things that you can do in your life because it's the only thing that actually permanently matters. You can't take any of the other things with you. You can't take your money. You can't take your house. You can't take your car. You can't take your collections. You don't take your body. Now, is it good to have these things and care for them and love them? Yes. But understand, on the level of importance or list of importance, your subtle body, your energy field, and spiritual development is the only thing that you take with you that you get to keep. It is incredibly important. He was then talking about sacred geometry, which basically means sacred measurement of the earth. It is understanding the non-physical, spiritual energy and consciousness patterns behind everything that creates our experience within earthly incarnation. Sacred geometry literally applies to everything, on every plane of existence. And it started as a thought form in the mind of God. It is a divine language. It is one of the ways we communicate with these higher beings that are up the chain of light, the chain of ascension beyond our physical body that we connect with. Okay? It is a language of patterns leading to meaning and function. He was also touching on certain frequencies correspond to biological function. The frequency literally changes the state, the biological state of matter, some form of matter or energy. That's why frequency healing is a thing. Okay, 12. 12 represents integration. And there's a lot of things that are corresponding to 12. Why? Because 12 is a very important number. The 12 around the 1 give the entire perspective, all the information. Okay? Jesus and the 12 disciples, the sun and the zodiac. Okay? Let's see, no, I'm jumping ahead. It is said that with 12 groups of 12, all things can be done. All things are possible. The 144 is the sum, the totality of the 12 groups of 12. And again, 12 represents integration. Our first card, new life. Okay? An integrated life. Integrating all of the information that you took on, learned within your subtle body from your past incarnations as well. That's part of this upgrade. The sun is super intense right now. There's corona holes that are literally touching, that almost cover the entire thing. We're being blasted with solar wind. We're being blasted with solar flares. That's information, that's energy, that's codes, that's transformation. It's hitting us and it's hitting the planet and it is evolving us. And we are accessing our memory from previous incarnations. Then he was talking about Rudolf Steiner. Many of you know who that is. It's a spiritual teacher from a long time ago. And he was saying how Rudolf Steiner put his body of work out for this time. It wasn't for the time that he lived. It was for now. I noticed that a lot of men really resonate with Rudolf Steiner. I've tried to read some of his work, and while the information is great, I actually enjoy it more when it's repeated from a different teacher, like quoted. I don't know why, but Rudolf Steiner. And he was talking about, Rudolf Steiner was talking about the mass incarnation of initiates that would happen now as part of the prophecy of Michael, of Archangel Michael, of this time. He rules over this time. And then I got this vision of 12 hours, one sphere to the next, changing poles, changing perspective, and then coming back again. Again, this is about information, learning, expansion of your soul and your higher self, ultimately. You came into this incarnation with it's beyond purpose. Things to accomplish. You came here with things to accomplish. Things that you wanted to accomplish. That would progress you as a soul. Which is why it's important to do your purpose, to figure out what it is and do it, because you're progressing your soul. That is the work that you take with you. And there are many ways of learning, discovering what it is that you came here to do. And it's highly likely that you came to do many things. That you needed this piece, and then you needed this piece, and then this piece, and then that path, and then this piece, and you add them all up, and now you're prepared for, whatever ultimate thing that you wanted to do in this life. You needed all the pieces. So everything is purposeful. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is a mistake. It's all learning. It's all growth. And if you integrate it properly, you take all of that with you. And lastly, I got the angel number 232, which talks about trusting in yourself and the universe, having faith in the divine plan. Okay? This new life, this deep knowing, it's in the cards. It's coming in. And it's literally about to shift. 24 hours, okay? This is going to become very apparent. It's going to begin or continue, depending, in the next 24 hours. All right. I am going to leave it there. I am sending all of you all of my love, all of my support. No, you're not dying. Most likely, you're not dying. Wow, my perception is challenged. It's off. Depth perception in this moment. You are becoming greater. So good job. All my love to you, and I'll talk to you soon.